the name in a bit. But there are questions coming through on DMs as to what I'm doing about the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Narvik. And the answer is, I'm writing a book about it, but that's not the reason I'm not doing anything. I had planned to do a whole series of presentations and stuff about it, especially about HMS Eskimo and how she ends up losing her bow, and HMS Cossack and her charging through a harbour, and all the various things that had to take place during the battle for it to be successful. And this is of course the third Battle of Narvik, so I was also going to talk about the Norwegian Battle of Narvik at the beginning, the first battle, and I'm going to talk about the second Battle of Narvik, what happened to the Hotspur class, what happened to the H's, and then go through the third Battle of Narvik and what the tribal class destroyers did, what the other destroyers did, and what HMS Warspite got up to. That's all my own plans, and that's all something I want to do in the future, but I want to do it when I can master the graphics better than I have now, because honestly, I want to be able to show these pictures off properly. Let's be honest, this is a ship which deserves a story to be told properly. It loses its bow. Not just once, but 3 times in the service of Queen and Country. It deserves to have it told properly. This is why there is a 4-part series about HMS Eskimo, or 4-part sub-series about HMS Eskimo on global maritime history. Now, she does all these things, and she's worthwhile looking at because of that. But that is one of the reasons why I want to do them properly. And one of the reasons why, this year, I've not done them. So, this is my explanation about Narvik. And this is my explanation, again, about a couple of myths. One, I will often use the description when I'm describing Battle of Narvik that the Germans get driven ashore, that the Germans get pretty much scared out of lives. And that is, to an extent, true. But what you won't often hear me having time for is the full explanation of why. The full explanation of why is because you have all these officers in the German Navy, and especially in the destroyers, which suffered in the interwar period from being very low priority, who weren't that experienced. Yes, there were some very good ones, but they were far rarer, and usually they are considered very good because they aren't mediocre like the rest. And yes, you can hear stuff going on in the background. Possibly. Hopefully not. They were very good. They did their best. But they had set up for an ambush. And the trouble was, the ambush had worked against the H-class. It wasn't going to work against tribals. For reasons because of their firepower. You know, the H-class have single 4.7 inches. They are very easy to overwhelm. The tribals, and especially when you have as many tribals in a pack as you do in this destroyer force, there are 4 of them, they are not going to be overwhelmed in any time soon. They are going to go for the kill, especially when they're pissed off. The fact that you then have a battleship, HMS Warspite, along with her Swordfish float plane scout aircraft. I know, this causes me regular fun because people go, oh no, there weren't Swordfish float planes. Yes, it was a Swordfish float plane. Yes, there were a few of them. Yes, that's what the torpedo spotter reconnaissance, that's what spotter means, that they are for spotting for battleships, for battle cruisers, and yes, a fair number of ships were still in the Second World War outfitted with Swordfish as their spotter aircraft. A Swordfish spotter aircraft flies ahead. Spots every ambush the Germans have in place. It's terrible. The poor Germans, every single time they're going, yes, they won't see us, they won't see us. Before, as the British force comes round the curve or wherever the Germans are hiding to ambush them, it's a case of boom, and the poor Germans going, but I didn't get the fire. It's not a nice battle if you're the German Navy. It's not a nice battle if you're a German destroyer. It's, in fact, a very tough battle. And it's especially tough when you realise they used a lot of their ammunition. There isn't a lot of resupply. So again, they are suffering from the same thing which the Graf Spee suffered. It's shorter range. They had no resupply. They'd used so much fighting the H-class. Yes, they'd won against the H-class. Yes, they'd beaten the British off. But they used a lot of their resources. And so, when it comes to fighting the tribals, when it comes to fighting a larger force of destroyers, when it comes to fighting a frickin' battleship, and not just any battleship, HMS Warspite, they are running on empty. They are running on fumes. So please go look at the Battle of Narvik. Please go look at the links I'm going to put below this in the post to the various articles at Global Maritime History. It's a very, very interesting battle. It's something you really have to look at. And again, I apologize that on the 80th anniversary, one of the historians, and I say this with no ego, who loves the Battle of Narvik and the whole history of the tribal destroyers more than pretty much anyone else probably does, and to a disturbing level, considering is not doing anything because it just wouldn't be good enough. It wouldn't meet the quality. I can discuss it and I will answer questions about it if you have them on Twitter and these things, but I'm not going to do anything which is going to be not do it the quality it deserves, because the Battle of Narvik is one of those battles which does deserve a lot of quality. It gets forgotten so often in history, and I sing about it so often to try and make sure it's not forgotten, because it is crucial, because what happens in it, it's the kind of battle which actually turns and makes the war what it is. Because after Narvik, the German destroyer force is, as a force, no more. Yes, they still have some destroyers. Yes, they're capable. Yes, they even build some new ones post-Narvik. But they don't have the same emphasis, the same willpower, the same force. Basically, it's kind of interesting because the first Battle of Narvik, where they beat the Norwegians, that's a nasty battle, but it's nothing in the scheme of things for the Germans. They're expecting to beat the Norwegians. They're turning up with overwhelming force. They get a nasty battle. The Norwegians put up a tough fight, but it's nothing on the scheme of things. Second Battle of Narvik, where they beat H-class, that is the zenith. That is the German destroyer force going, yes, we are here, we've arrived, look, we've beaten the British. Third Battle of Narvik is where they realise that the tribal class destroyers are there to kill them. When I say kill them, you destroy the bow of HMS Eskimo. A turret gets destroyed, B turret continues firing, and she continues her turn around the corner she was going. She fires her torpedoes at you, and then she turns till she's sternwards forward to you, and continues advancing on you stern first, with X and Y turrets engaging you, to continue covering the other destroyers coming round the entrance to the fjord behind her. You have the example of the Germans have some land parties firing mortars and things at the destroyers, and HMS Cossack literally rams her way into a harbour through a blocking ship, no less, to get to them, to make sure they're destroyed, so they stop hampering her friends, so they stop causing trouble for the tribals. And while she's beached, technically on another ship, she just continues slowly working through all the ships and targets in the harbour and destroying them. You have HMS Punjabi, which is knocked out once early on in the operation by a set of torpedoes and gun hits and all these things, and rebuilds herself, comes back into battle with holes all over her superstructure and losses in her officers and all these sort of things, and continues on fighting. In fact, the entire battle is one ongoing, non-stop fight, which is more like a brawl in a pub than it is a naval battle. This is a battle which needs to be examined properly, and which I will do properly at some point in the future, but which, at the moment, with my ability with the graphics on here, which are mainly showing book pictures and talking, I can't do it as well as I would like to. So, good luck to all those who are doing Battle of Narvik today. I'm sure you'll all do a fantastic job, and you'll tell us all about it. I will answer any questions that come up, and I hope you have a good day, because this is a day which should be remembered, the Battle of Narvik. Alright. Take care. Bye. And I know I didn't advertise this publicly, and I know I'm just recording this straight away, and to no one. So it's going live to zilch. But, you know, it's the quickest way to get it up on the side. Take care.